Hi, I'm Venk.
And I'm Jaya.
And this is the Reality Hate episode 32.
Yes.
And we did take a mini little break, a breakation for a week, but don't worry, we're gonna keep you up to date. And a little news alert, but first, you like us, you love us, so please click that subscribe button.
Smash! 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 Smash!
And smash that like button. I switched it up. Also, hit the notification bell at the top.
Yeah.
So you're when a new episode comes out. And also, we're starting our radio show on Ruckus Avenue Radio.
Yes.
So, Sorry Not Sorry, talking all things pop culture. So check us out there.
Please.
Okay. Sounds sexy. Can I do a little news alert?
News alert.
News alert. So on Bethany Frankel's podcast, I believe, she talked about Tom Girardi owing money.
So this is about Erika Jayne. Erika Jayne. I told Tom $50,000, Erika Jayne.
To her, her ex-fiance who passed away?
Yes.
I apparently lots of money was owed to her ex.
Wow.
And her fiance. Yep. It's expensive to be you.
But Erika didn't look like she was hurting on this week's episode of The Real Housewives.
Not at all, but
it didn't reflect any pain.
It did not, although there were pictures of her being a Maxxinista.
Oh, she was hitting up the TJ Maxx?
I mean, and the paparazzi was there, because how often do you see paparazzi at the Beverly Connection?
Well, good for her.
Not
Should
at all.
she even be hitting up the Off Fifth or the Nordstrom Rack or TJ Maxx at the Beverly Connection?
Maybe not.
She wasn't going to the soup plantation. It's not there anymore.
Oh my gosh, do you remember the soup plantation?
Yeah, I used to eat there.
I loved it. The only problem I had with it
I love a salad bar. I did. RIP salad bars, but I did love that salad bar.
I had an issue with it being called a plantation.
I agree, but it was still delicious. And the mac and cheese.
Oh, I love mac and cheese.
Me too.
Okay.
Recap.
I was thinking I'd start with Beverly Hills. Is that cool?
I think that's great.
Okay, so we open on a fabulous invitation handout by one yummy delivery man.
Oh, yes.
He came and he was like, it's an invitation. I'm like, oh, are you the milkman or do you need to get milked?
He was a yummy man with an ugly invitation.
Oh, did you think it was an ugly invitation?
Yeah, the mirror for cocaine. For the cocaine.
I didn't pay attention because I was very busy.
It was a mirror that was like engraved with the invitation.
Oh, gross.
I mean,
Garcelle, the way she felt was exactly the way I felt about Invitation Man. There are too many just beautiful, strapping gentlemen here. And I wish they'd... Anyway, so...
email him at our email, realityhatef@gmail.com.
REALITYHATEF@gmail.com.
Yes.
Please do that. Okay, so they give out the invitations, and then we head on over to Kathy Hilton, where she's barking like a dog. And another reason I love Kathy Hilton.
I know.
She does not bother me. If she does not do anything, she could never hurt me.
No, here's the only thing I was a little on this last episode is when she claimed she didn't know who Bernie Sanders was. She was like, Colonel Sanders. I mean, I don't know. I was like, is this because you're a Trump supporter?
I hope she's not.
Well,
I hope she's not. I really sincerely hope she's not. So Erika, Kathy, Lisa, and Kyle get together and they do like a gold face mask, which I have one of those gold face masks. Terrible. It doesn't do anything. overpriced, whatever. And I love how Kathy talks about when they talk about, doing the and the namaste. She's like, I just don't listen. I'm Kathy Hilton. And I'm okay, because guess what? I don't either. That was every Sunday doing all the Hindu prayers. I was like, I should be sleeping right now. Okay, so then we move on with Erika saying she's done with Sutton. She's like, nope, I'm like I don't want to have a makeup with Sutton. I do not want to talk to Sutton. I want nothing to do with Sutton. And I feel like Erika is going to eventually realize that that was just a dumb mistake, because it's going to be funny to me to see how the tables turn on Erika so quickly. It's just like, this is where I dislike and I understand Kyle, because I don't like Kyle. You know that
I know you're anti-Kyle.
I don't hate her. There's something about her that's very calculating, but see, Kyle, I think I'm starting to see her play both sides. Slightly.
You see Kyle. Well, I saw Kyle play both sides in last week's episode. I felt that she was really going after Sutton and like pretending to be Sutton's friend, but then repeating information, and then kind of, I mean, they use Sutton as like the sacrificial lamb, right? It's like, Sutton, say all these things. Sutton, say these things. Say all these things. We want the answers that you are going to ask.
Exactly.
Put to the questions you're going to ask, and then they don't ask the questions. But then this week you saw Kyle like, wait, once Mauricio stepped in and said something, then it was like, wait a second.
But then she does it again, and I'm like, oh, the shade.
Oh, look at the shade. You need to fan yourself off from all that heat.
I mean, from the invitation, man. So then Erika's talking to Kyle, and I just want to read it to you because from my notes. Tom's house was broken into. He was confronted by the burglar, had to get eye surgery. My son had to go for help. He rolled his car 5 times. That is a lot of information to take in.
Well, and the other thing I noticed during that is, I don't know if you remember our legal expert, Janine Zalduendo, talking about, when she can tell people are lying, so they look to the left, or they, don't look you in the eye. When she was telling that story, she was like down like this, and she was like, Tom rolled his car 5 times, and then this happened, and then this happened, and yeah. It was a lot. So she was never looking Kyle in the eye. She was looking down the whole time.
And we'll find out, we'll talk about this later, but I'll just sprinkle this in now. It's a little odd, this car roll. There, a lot of people in Erika's life have car situations.
Yes, it comes up.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. So then we get to Garcelle. She's going to get set up with a shirtless man who also looks like an Adonis. He's like, oh, that was a little bit of a saliva coming from my mouth. Sorry. Reality hate. Anyway, so
sexy.
Then we head on over to Crystal Minkoff with Kyle, and she's redoing their like bachelor basement or whatever, and she's like, I brought it down from $1 million to 500,000.
500.
And I think this is where Kyle kind of started to bother me, not seeing where Garcelle was coming from. Okay.
I felt like Crystal was also doing it. Crystal was taking the opportunity to really come like at Garcelle in that way of like, yeah, I don't feel excluded. I don't know why she feels that way, and like Kyle they were both gossiping in a way that I didn't enjoy.
But the thing is, I think Crystal's new, Kyle's an OG, and I feel like Kyle knows what she's doing, whereas Crystal's still trying to figure it out. You know, Kyle is like, you know, an OG. Crystal's like, she's 30, she's in her 30s. Like, she's only a couple years older than us.
I mean, a couple.
Like, okay, a decade older than us.
Yeah.
So then we head on over to Kyle and Mauricio. They're having dinner with PK and Dorit. PK and Dorit, and PK needs mayonnaise.
No, he needs a tartar. A tartar sauce. A tartar. Yeah.
This is the restaurant.
Make a tartar sauce for PK.
Anywho, they all start talking about Erika's ridiculous story because Erika's story is ridiculous.
And I feel like you would have never heard me say this, but it was the one time I agreed with PK. Like I was like, PK, you're right. You know, like you're absolutely right. He was right. Even when he was talking about how, like, when he went to the hospital the first time and they said that he had a brain injury, he was like, come, give me a break. The doctor is going to be like, there's brain issues, but let's look at that ankle.
I did like how he brought up, and the other thing PK said, he's like, because, you know, PK understands this world. The optics of Erika's IG posts are really lowbrow. And I think this was on I think I saw it on TikTok or I saw it somewhere where they were comparing Georgina Chapman, Harvey Weinstein's ex, but Marchesa Georgina Chapman.
Right.
Who was with Adrian Brody. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but it's better than Harvey Weinstein.
I mean, but it was so odd when I saw
lovely Georgina Chapman. I always remember that from what's the show? Project. And we have the lovely Georgina Chapman. That's always how she was introduced.
I don't know. I always have questions about Georgina Chapman.
I mean, she was with Harvey Weinstein
but like the thing is, okay, so when we talk about like Georgina Chapman, Harvey Weinstein, and we talk about Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi, and we talk about who else? There's Tom Girardi, there's Georgina Chapman, Harvey Weinstein, and then the Wizard of Oz, they made the movie, New York finance guy Joan
Crawford. Bernie Madoff.
When we talk about Bernie Madoff and his wife, so I don't believe Bernie Madoff's wife knew.
I don't either.
And I
do believe Georgina Chapman had an idea.
And I will tell you, like, and I will say why, and I will not back down from this. Have you seen what Georgina Chapman looks like?
Yes.
Now, power and money is quite an aphrodisiac, but I have sat next to Harvey Weinstein. This was at Sundance at an after party for a movie premiere, like in 2012, the first time I went to Sundance. And I knew who he was. Obviously, everybody knows who Harvey Weinstein is, but I have never seen a more repugnant individual. And I just remember looking at my friend and just thinking, I go, oh my God, that's Harvey Weinstein. She's like, yeah, let's just not act like weird because we're at a private after party.
Right.
And I was like, there is no way, no amount of money is gonna let that pig sit on top of me. Now, I'm a chubby pig myself, but I'm a darling pig.
You darling. Harvey Weinstein with Georgina Chapman made no sense.
Well,
Erika Girardi a little more with Tom.
Tom Girardi
and Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, Georgina Chapman knew.
Yeah. So we allegedly. Oh no, in our humble opinion.
Yes.
We need to talk to Janine Zalduendo about when we can say that. Janine.
Janine
Zalduendo. So anyway, I like that PK brought that up, and then we head to the wedding party.
Which I wish she would have held in her designed Buca de Beppo. Why didn't she have it in her Buca de Poo room?
The Pupa de Becco.
Yes.
I love her.
I love her.
I think she's also doing the chain of Olive Gardens next.
Oh man.
I love
Can't
it.
wait for it. My husband loves the Olive Garden.
Oh, your family here.
First of all, I love the Olive Garden. I also love Red Lobster. And
Again, email us.
yeah. Okay, so I actually did like Dorit's outfit, which is one of the wedding dresses offered.
The woman? Isn't it the woman?
We're getting to the titles. Trust me, just hold on. We're getting to the woman.
The woman.
I have I have a couple ideas about why it was named the woman. So of course Erika and Sutton ignore each other, which it makes for great television.
We meet Sutton's boyfriend.
Yeah, he's cute. He seems nice.
We don't really see much, but we meet him.
I don't care. I do care about Sutton, but I don't care until I know more. We need more. We need more one-on-one. We need more.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, and so now we're gonna reveal the names of the dresses.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't like any of them.
First of all, there was the angel.
Oh yeah, the angel.
The angel. There was the moment.
The moment.
Which is, I don't know if it's the angel. Where does the moment go? The moment I met the angel. Okay, we're doing.
There we go.
And then it was the pearl.
Oh yeah, the pearl. $35,000. $35,000. Pearl.
$35,000. $35,000. The princess, which by far is the worst dressed. Worst dress. Could not take the
pink and it was terrible.
And then Dorit was wearing the woman.
The woman.
The woman. I think it's like a dress if you're on your second marriage or third marriage, or you're an older bride. I don't know why they call it the woman.
The woman.
Woman. These names.
I mean, really thoughtful, really deep. They really thought about why they were that name.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw PK brainstorming.
I think we should call this one like the pearl, because it might have had 14,000 pounds. Pirate. Then we're at the dinner. Dorit has an outfit change. It's a lot of fabric.
Also, Erika walks in with like her weird.
I hated that.
I hated it too. But also she had a glam squad. I mean, it's like she never lost a dime.
It's like she almost is being sued for $25 million, which she's being sued for $25 million. 25 million.
25 million.
Yes. 25 million. Okay. Then blah, blah, blah. Harry Hamlin shows up. Yes. Always lovely.
Lovely.
I feel like he hates coming, and Lisa's
that's why he stays off the show.
He's like, could you please come? Could you please come? Speaking of which, congratulations to Lisa Rinna on your daughter finally not being a sister wife. Like, okay, I would have felt the same way. I would have felt so relieved had my daughter broken up with that older. He is younger than me, but he's older.
No, he's not younger than you.
He was like 39, 38. I'm sorry. He's about 3 decades older than me.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Vank, you forget sometimes. It's just because of COVID. And
my youth. And my youth, I have ADHD.
You want to be older. You're always thinking about the future.
Yeah, because I'm in college or high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found it odd when the guys are all in the back and they're talking, like PK's like, lost $2 billion maybe, but not really lose it.
Yeah. I mean, but he threw that around a lot. That came up multiple times in the episode. Multiple.
If you lose it, if you didn't lose it, when I lost it, and then I lost it, but like, I can't.
I hope you can play PK in a movie because it's spot on.
Then Kyle doesn't. Okay, I don't know why.
Kyle causes trouble.
Yeah, you still. There is the thing. This is what I don't like. I have loved Kyle too. I am like I'm tired of the bullshit. Kyle brings up that Garcelle did that interview with Mario Lopez, and I'm just like, why are you shit starting?
I know.
And let Garcelle feel her feelings. Let the woman feel her feelings. Feelings and facts are two separate things, but feelings should be validated by other people. Like, you should validate somebody's feelings.
I agree. And I feel like they discuss this time and time again, like, well, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But when it does come to Garcelle, there's a different set of rules. I agree. And I feel that she was expressing that she felt ganged up on, that nobody sticks up for her. I agree. Lisa Rinna doesn't and feels like she, but Lisa Rinna's part of the gang, right? So it's okay. But Dorit it does need to be called out, and it is passive aggressive. She's saying how she feels. And that luncheon, they were terrible to Garcelle.
They were. Thank you, because I'm just like, there's nothing about Garcelle that's not keeping it real. Like, if I thought like Garcelle was she's not talking shit, she's expressing the way, I don't know what they want from Garcelle.
They want Garcelle, she said it. They basically want her, like, they say, like, no, Garcelle, it's okay for you to have your own opinion. No, it's okay for you to have your own opinion if you agree with us. And the more you don't agree with us, it's not okay. That's offensive. And that's the problem, right? Like, they have the hive mind.
I just said in my notes, she kept it real. And then Dorit's like, I don't understand. I speak 4 languages. I'm like,
oh my God. I was like, shut up, Dorit. We know. And again, as Garcelle said, good for you.
Good for you. I love that. And then it kind of ends on a boring note. But the preview, the one thing about the preview that I really was interested in was when Erika uses the word allegedly after sharing his story. How can it allegedly happen if it's a story that you're telling about an experience that you experienced? Exactly. How is it alleged?
Exactly.
How is it alleged, Erika? Why are you
lying? You're lying.
Erika Jane, why are you such a disappointing?
We went from loving you to not even being able to stand you because you just tell lie after lie after lie.
Too many lies. Too many lies.
Yep. Too many lies. Let's move on from more lies into
oh my gosh,
the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Dun 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 dun.
So many lies, so many parallel stories happening with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Beverly Hills. We open on the ladies in a car. So they open it further into the season.
Yeah.
And Jen gets in and she has culturally inappropriate hair. And, she sits down with everyone and she gets a phone call and she becomes very serious, and it's her husband.
Yep.
And she hangs up the phone and she's like, I have to go. And they're like, is everything okay? She's like, I have to go. I've got to leave.
She says, can you take the mic off?
Yeah, can you take my mic off? I have to leave. And she escapes. Minutes later, the police are closing in on their little truck and they're looking for Jen Shah, who is on the run because she's being arrested.
Oh my gosh, Jen Shah. It's Shah amazing.
It's Shah amazing. So then they read quickly. So the women start like looking on the internet to see what's going on. And they see that she has been arrested for fraud, for stealing from people, which we already know.
A lot of these, like Joe Giudice. What would Joe Giudice say?
What would Joe Giudice do?
Joe Giudice would be like, Jen, don't make the mistake I did.
Don't make the mistake.
No, don't make the mistake.
Here's a portrait. Here's a painting.
They love portraits.
They love them.
Love them.
So the one thing that got me, I have to say before I dive in, was Mary Cosby's opener, which is her tagline this year is, if you come for me, I will send Jesus after you.
Girl.
Okay.
But
that's not a good tagline.
No, it's not. And also later, but we have to talk. Can I just insert this? I know it's later, but like.
No, insert.
Okay. the portrait of her
Oh my
grandma?
God. The portrait. We can just say it now. There is a portrait in Mary Cosby's church where she records her podcast, and it is of her grandmother, like next to Jesus.
or is it her mother or grandmother?
Grandmother who ran the church.
The one who's was married to her husband.
Yes, her husband's ex-wife.
So her husband's ex-wife or her stepmother
No, her husband's ex-wife / her grandmother.
Everything about
in a picture with Jesus.
This was a very this was a very religious heavy episode. Like
yes, because they also yes.
There was
a Shabbat, which is also like New York, that went better than New York's, but still there was some drama. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we open on Jen Shah's new luxurious chalet, her chalet, and we see her second assistant, who she was paying with stolen funds.
I think an intern.
Or intern. Well, it's
intern at the rental.
Paid
at the rental.
Yes.
25,000.
Yes. 25,000. 25,000. And she's giving a tour to Lisa of her place, and she shows her closet with all her things that she bought with stolen money, 25,000.
Can I just say, I want that closet. I do.
It was a closet, but it has all stolen. I mean, she bought that stuff. It's like Erika Jayne's closet. It was bought with people's money, other people's money.
Give those closets to me. I would like rework every outfit to make it look like television ready.
Well, ask them. Do you think that the feds will hand it over to you?
Probably, they'll probably give it to the all the burn victims. Oh, that's Erika Jayne.
That's Erika. Wait.
Whichever victim.
I can't keep it straight. So anyway, Jen then says that she feels that all the women are jealous of her relationship with Lisa. And that the 6 months of COVID have been really hard on her because her husband tried to leave her. Good. You should have run. Why did you come back? Because now look. But they worked it out. She said, we're Muslim. I was raised Mormon and then converted to Muslim, now she is
Islamic.
And sorry, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth.
Muslim. She's Muslim. She converted to Islam.
Yeah, neither of us. Both of us couldn't get it out.
Leave us alone.
Yes, exactly.
We're amazing.
And he wanted a divorce, but that is looked down upon in both religions. And so they've worked it out. They're in couples therapy and everything is okay.
Whatever.
Allegedly. And she said she didn't know that she was being resentful to Sharif. I'm confused because in the last season, she knew she was being resentful. So get your story straight. Erika Jayne at least can try to keep her story straight. You're not even keeping your story straight.
At least I will say one thing about that whole conversation she had with Lisa. She did, even though she's probably terrible and there's probably a reason why she did this, at least she said on camera, my behavior was not great.
She did say that, but she also pretended like she didn't know. It's like she blacked out and doesn't remember that last season she said those very things, after his disastrous birthday party, that she was resentful. So anyway, doesn't matter. So then Lisa says that she's going to broker peace between her and Meredith. And Jen says, I love you. I would go to jail for you. That's something I haven't done yet. I was like,
that's foreshadowing.
It's coming. It's coming.
You don't have to go to jail for Lisa. You'll go to jail for a bunch of other people you screwed over.
Exactly. Then we see Meredith in her new house. Everybody's upgraded. She's doing well with her husband, allegedly, and he can spend 50% of his time with them, and it's been better. She doesn't seem happy, but it seems like they're working on things.
Yeah.
And then we see Whitney with her family. She's in a bikini. Surprise, surprise.
I love how Whitney's hanging out with her stepchildren
that are her age,
whose friends went to high school with her.
I know. And she's in a bikini. I was like, this is all uncomfortable and weird. And then she talks about how she's not going to, and she's going to work on her skincare line and like run her own business and really sell her new skincare line. I was like, cool, real classy.
I do like the title Wild Rose.
I do too. And I'm interested in her skincare. She looks great.
I liked how she was saying, like, this was my skin. They showed pictures. I myself have skin situations all the time.
I am all for it. And I'm glad that she would rather be successful in her skincare business and then suck pee-pee.
Can I just tell you though, and you're going to think this is disgusting. Her husband.
Oh no. You've said this before. Remember I said he looks like a family member of mine. And so I
remember gay and single.
Not at all. He has 3 kids, but he's a distant. He's not like a in a like family, but he's a cousin, and he reminds me of him.
I think he's cute. I don't know. I like those Berlin men.
I know you
with a lot of money.
And she gets the cake. Obviously, they're drunk. They've been drinking. She drops the cake everywhere. We see that moment. It's fun. It's fine. Yeah. Then we move on to Whitney. Then we get to see Mary. We move on from Whitney and we get to see Mary. Who 25,000. Spent 6 months alone with her son because her husband was stuck in Florida. She's like, thank God.
Her
grandfather husband is gone. And she said she was talking to her mannequins and talking to herself so much that she decided to start a podcast. So we see her go film her podcast and record her podcast with these 2 men who she stops from talking. Basically, the podcast is with these 2 men who sit and listen to her while she talks because she's the only one that can say anything right. Like they opened up with a prayer and the guy started and she's like, stop.
But I loved it because she's like, you don't need to do all that.
And then she did all that.
But she did it less than him. He was like, I
know, but still, like, come on. So then we have to listen to her story and they discuss children and how they're lost in money in the internet. And she worries about her son because she doesn't want to support him and he needs to find stability and she doesn't know how, but hopefully God can get him there. Okay, cool. Then she also talked about how she was not liked and never fit in. That's weird.
You not liked, never fit in?
Mary was not liked and never fit in. And the only person that liked her and the only person that she trusts is God.
What about her grandfather husband?
Or her grandmother who gave her her empire.
She's like Cookie Lyons.
She is like Cookie Lyons. Sorry. And so yes.
Wait, hold on. I apologize to Taraji P. Henson for that disgusting comparison. You are a queen. Mary Cosby is not like you in any way, shape, or form, or any character you've ever played. I love you, Taraji P. Henson.
Me too.
Okay, thank you.
So anyway, we close on the podcast where the 2 men sit and listen to her and just say, yes, you're right. Amazing.
Right.
Then we meet the new addition to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Jenny. And she's fun, and her husband's a chiropractor, and she's very close to Lisa. And we meet her, and she's gonna add a lot of spice to the season.
She's my favorite thing. Can I tell you?
Yes.
The kids saying, we're Asian, not Blasian.
Yes, I love that.
And I'm taking that. If I was a kid in school, still going to school, which I am, I would be like, I don't get B's. I'm Asian, not Blasian.
That's right. Or Cajun, or
Bayesian, or Bayesian. Not Bayesian.
We're only Asian.
We're only Asian.
So they were great. And then we get to Jen's house again, where she's having a birthday party for her son. And we meet the aunt that caused hospital gates.
Smells like a hospital in here.
You meet the aunt, right? That is the subject for hospital gate, right?
And she did not smell like a hospital. She smelled like Versace.
That's right. And she was lovely.
She was.
Her family is lovely. She is not, meaning Jen.
Her family is quiet. I don't know about lovely. We don't know them.
I think they're all afraid of her.
Of course.
I think they're very afraid of her. So then we go to a lunch in a globe, in a little like dome. And it's Heather, Whitney, Meredith, and Mary, and they all get together. And Meredith's father died, which I felt really bad about.
Yeah.
She's very sad, and I'm just so sorry that happened. And after we get past all of that, we get to Heather saying that she hadn't spoken to Jen since the reunion, and of course not Lisa, and she feels like she owes an apology to Lisa. But with Jen, she's confused because she thought everything was okay, but then Jen is saying that Heather is racist and tweeting about her and saying all these horrible things, and she says, I'm confused because I get all hopped up on her juice. She fills me up with all her friendship juice, and I just get high off of it. And Mary's like, what is she talking about? Friendship juice.
And I don't like when I agree with Mary.
I know when I agree with Mary.
And the other thing that was like revealing was all the horrible things she was saying about Meredith's son.
Yes, and that is Meredith's main issue. She was like, it's not the other things. My main issue is the homophobic comments she's making about my son. She is attacking my child.
The thing is, first of all, he's a young kid. He's 21. He's a child. When you're 21, you're a child. And he's never talked about his sexuality.
Well, and Jen's like, and Lisa's, so we'll get to this, but like the defense is, well, Meredith or Brooks said that he could see Jen's vagina. He could. It made him uncomfortable. She was drunk and lifting her legs and being inappropriate. He saw it. That's it.
Before I was a homosexual, I was a closeted heterosexual. And I have seen vaginas. And I'll tell you,
you were a closeted homosexual.
I was a closeted
heterosexual.
I'm sorry. I was a closeted homosexual pretending to be heterosexual. Yeah. And I have seen vaginas, but I do not believe anyone should show unsolicited vagina or penine.
No vagine without anybody asking. Just as I don't want to see the pee without anybody asking.
Everybody's throwing their peen around.
Everybody's throwing everything around.
I mean, what is this, Grinder?
And
if so,
everywhere.
If so, I'm joining AOL chat.
Man, I love the AOL chat. I still have an AOL. account.
God, I used to go on those chats when I was
OG.
child, and I'd be like, let me talk to some older men. Yeah, I was in high school. I was a dirty bastard.
I mean, that's like back when you were 6.
Yeah, when I was 4.
Yeah, that's really disturbing. So anyway, then we see Lisa and Jen, and Lisa says, or Lisa and Meredith, and in Lisa's confessional, she says, I feel closer to Jen as of late than I do Meredith. And Meredith is okay with Lisa being friends with Jen. She's like, it irritates me, but it's okay. Like, they're friends. Our friendship.
I don't think that's real though.
I don't either, but she's trying, right? Yeah. So then Meredith has a Shabbat like New York. It goes a little better with her family, Lisa's family and Meredith's family. And Meredith sits down with Lisa, and Lisa's basically like, you should make up with Jen. You should talk to Jen. And Meredith is like, I don't want to. Like, I need an apology. And actually, I don't need an apology. My children, my family needs an apology. And then Lisa spends that time basically comparing her issue with Heather and Whitney to Jen and Meredith's quarrel, and they're not alike.
Not the same.
One is not like the other. And the truth is, Lisa, if someone were to attack your two boys, you would have no tolerance and you would not be their friend. And we're gonna see Lisa shut Jen out down the line, because we see that in the previews. But
I want to say though, like, so let's say I've known you for a couple of years and someone new came in and started talking smack about your children. Like, okay, let's say your children were a little older. Like, I would be like, no, it's just like, there is a history there between Lisa and Meredith. I don't understand what Lisa doesn't understand.
She doesn't want to get involved. She thinks she can make peace, but she also like doesn't want to even dip her toe into the problem. She's just like, you guys should be friends and move past it.
And she can't compare.
Because she hasn't had a personal affront. You know what I mean? Like,
those are the worst kinds of, listen, honestly, that is not a good friend.
Yeah. So basically it ends and Jen's like, Lisa is like, well, are you willing to talk to Jen? And Meredith is like, if she's willing to give an apology to my family, not to me, I don't want the apology, then maybe we can talk, but we're never going to have a friendship like we did before. And they don't. We see that. They're never going to be friends. And that's it.
That's it. I think the thing, if I may, I think the thing that I'm excited about is the questions about Mary being part of a cult.
Yes, because she is.
And also what transpires with Jen, although we're probably going to get a lot of news stories about that. So we'll get the information before the show's situation.
Yes.
Which I don't like. I wish, like.
I hate it and I love it because with Erika, I thought I would be bored, but watching her try and cover up all her lies is really interesting to watch. Because it's like, we already know the information and here she is like doing everything she can to get herself, like paint this picture of being helpless. And we already know that she isn't. So let's watch this all unfold. It'll be great.
You know, your husband suggested a new game. I don't know if people know us very well, but like, it would be like a rapid fire question. I'll ask a question to you, then you ask a question to me, and then I ask a question to you, and then you ask a question to me. We'll do 2 questions, okay?
Okay.
Do you want to start with me? Ask me a question.
Okay. I want to know where you were born.
Detroit, Michigan.
And how much money you make.
20,000. I want to know how many kids you have.
25,000. If you were Erika Jayne and the women are asking you questions and they're like, we want to know the answers, like what exactly happened during that car accident, and you had to tell the story, what were you thinking before you told it?
I'd be like, how did I get away with this? 25 million, 25,000. If you were Bethany Frankel, how much money would it cost for you to talk smack about Erika Girardi?
25,000.
Wrong. It was free. She did it for free on her podcast.
She did do it for free because Erika Jayne owes her
passed on, deceased
ex-fiance lots of money.
But not 2 billion, maybe 2 billion on PK. Anyway, hey guys, taglines. We do need taglines from you, so send us your tagline.
We'll just keep doing fire round and make up questions as we go along like we did.
We're amazing. But if you want to reach out to us, please do so at realityhatef@gmail.com. That's REALITYHATEF@gmail.com. Also, please follow us on Instagram at realityhatef, or follow us on TikTok at realityhatef. Like, you can literally, or just like stalk me, or just email me for a date.
Or just yeah, I mean, I can't even top that right now. And also listen to our radio show. It's going to be airing.
Wait, what?
Sorry, not sorry. Listen to our radio show.
You said you couldn't top that, but you can top this.
Top that.
So I was making a sex joke.
Meaning you can top that. Of course, I go to
top that.
Witch. No, not The Worst Witch. What's it called? Teen Witch.
Teen Witch, which is an amazing movie that I love. But also check us out on Ruckus Avenue Radio on our new show, Sorry Not Sorry, which you just mentioned before I interrupted you because I needed to make a topping joke.
About being on top of Vank. Be on top of him.
Be on top of me. Anyway, I love you. I'm Vank.
I'm Jaya.
And bye.
Bye.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, start.
Blackwater. We like it.
So good.
Quenches that thirst.
So good.